The emergency sirens wailed through the bridge of the Galactic Council warship Sovereign Talon as its shields buckled under relentless fire. Commander Lyra gripped the edge of her console, her violet eyes reflecting the explosions blooming across the view screen. Around her, the pride of 6 civilizations, battle cruisers, dreadnoughts, and carrier vessels, crumbled like paper before an inferno. How? She whispered, watching another Krix destroyer split in half. How are they doing this? Her tactical officer, a 4-armed Zathari named Vorn, stammered through his report. Commander, the human defense grid, it's not just advanced, it's impossible. Their weapons are targeting our ships through quantum encryption. They're predicting our movements before we make them. 3 months ago, the Galactic Council had made what seemed like a simple decision. Humanity, the newest species to achieve faster-than-light travel, had established a modest territory of 12 systems. When they politely declined the Council's invitation to join and surrender their sovereignty, the elder races had taken offense. The Vrex, who had dominated the galaxy for 10,000 years, saw it as an insult. The crystalline Luminar viewed it as dangerous independence. Even the peaceful Alderians agreed no species stood alone. Not in their galaxy, so they sent the Armada of Unity, 2,000 warships representing every major civilization. They would teach humanity humility. They would bring these upstart primates into the fold, willing or not. They crossed into human space on a Tuesday. Lyra had commanded the Sovereign Talon for 15 cycles. She'd seen combat against pirates, quelled rebellions, and pacified 3 minor species. She'd never seen anything like this. The moment they breached the boundary, Earth's defensive systems had awakened. Not slowly, not reactively, but as if they'd been waiting, watching, anticipating. Automated defense platforms materialized from what their sensors had sworn was empty space. Mines phased into reality along perfectly calculated vectors. And the weapons, energy signatures unlike anything in Council archives, Vorn reported, his voice cracking. They're using principles of physics we don't understand. Commander, our shields are down to 12%. At this rate, I can count, Lieutenant. Lyra's jaw clenched. She opened a channel to Fleet Command. Admiral Krenth, we need to withdraw. We've lost half the fleet in 20 minutes. 20 minutes? The aged Vrex Admiral's face filled her screen, his golden scales dim with shock. Retreat? From primitives who discovered FTL barely a century ago, the Council will never. His image dissolved into static as his flagship, the Eternal Dawn, split down the middle. Lyra watched in horror as the vessel that had survived 1,000 battles died in silence. All ships, she broadcasted on emergency channels, withdraw immediately. Fall back beyond the border. But the humans weren't done teaching their lesson. As the battered remains of the Armada turned to flee, a single message pierced through every communication system simultaneously. The voice was calm, almost gentle, but it carried the weight of absolute authority. Attention, Galactic Council forces. This is Casper Chen, Director of Earth's Unified Defense Command. You have violated our sovereignty. You have brought weapons of war against our people. You have demonstrated your intentions clearly. Lyra's blood ran cold. Something in that voice, the certainty, the lack of anger or fear, told her that the nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. We could destroy every ship that entered our space, Casper continued. Our targeting systems have locks on all remaining vessels. Instead, we offer a choice. Leave now and carry a message to your council, or stay and become debris. On Lyra's tactical display, new contacts appeared, hundreds of them, emerging from the black-like predators that had been circling all along. Human warships, sleek and menacing, bristling with weapons that made Council technology look primitive. How long had they been there? How long had the humans been toying with them? The message is simple, Casper said. Humanity will not be conquered. We will not be absorbed. We will not kneel. We have studied your wars, your politics, your technologies. We have prepared for this day since the moment we learned we weren't alone. Lyra's hands moved across her controls, pulling her ship toward the border. Around her, the surviving vessels did the same, limping away from the slaughter. You came with 2,000 ships to teach us our place. The human's voice echoed through the void. You will leave with less than 400, and you will teach your council something far more important. Humans do not start fights. But we finish them. The human fleet held position at the border, not pursuing, not firing, simply watching with an attention that felt like the gaze of ancient predators. As the Sovereign Talon crossed back into Council space, Lyra finally allowed herself to breathe. Her crew sat in stunned silence, processing what they'd witnessed. The greatest military force ever assembled, humbled in minutes by a species the Council had dismissed as irrelevant. "Get me a full damage report," she ordered quietly. "And compile everything, every scan, every recording, every sensor reading. The Council needs to see this." Vorn looked up at her, all four eyes wide with lingering terror. "Commander, what are humans?" Lara stared at the view screen, where human ships still waited like sentinels. She thought of their perfect tactics, their impossible technology, their terrifying restraint. They could have annihilated the entire armada. Instead, they'd sent a message. "They're survivors," she said finally. "They evolved on a world that tried to kill them every day. They climbed to the top of their food chain by being smarter, more adaptable, more relentless than anything else on their planet. And when they reached for the stars..." She paused, remembering the cold certainty in Casper Chen's voice. "When they reached for the stars, they didn't forget the lessons of their bloody rise. They remembered. They prepared." 3 days later, the shattered remains of the Armada of Unity limped into council space. The elder races convened an emergency session, watching the battle recordings with growing horror. The Vrex, who had ruled for millennia, saw their invincible fleet broken. The Luminar witnessed their crystalline certainty shattered. The Eldarians understood that peace in the galaxy had new boundaries. A resolution passed unanimously. Human space was to be respected. Not out of friendship or alliance, but out of the cold mathematics of survival. On Earth, Casper Chen stood at a window overlooking the defense grid that had made it all possible. Beside him, engineers monitored sensors that watched the galaxy beyond. "They'll be back someday," his second-in-command said quietly. Casper nodded. "Maybe, but not today. And when they come, they'll come as equals, or they won't come at all." In the darkness between stars, humanity stood guard, and the galaxy learned the price of arrogance.